Jesus once spoke of the kingdom of heaven, likening it to a king throwing a banquet. He said the king sent his servants to those who had been invited to the banquet to tell them to come, but they refused to come. Then he sent some more servants and said, "Tell those who have been invited that I have prepared my dinner and everything is ready. Come to the banquet." But they paid no attention and went off. Then he said to his servants, "The banquet is ready, but those I invited did not deserve to come. So go to the street corners and invite to the banquet anyone you find." So the servants went out into the streets and gathered all the people they could find, the bad as well as the good, and the banquet hall was filled with guests. In Young Life, we believe the words of Jesus, that the kingdom of God is like a great banquet, and there's a place at the table for every kid.
Young Life Club is a place that everyone feels like they belong. Young Life leaders will come up to you right away and they'll hug you and say, "We're so happy you're here," or people will just come up and talk to you, ask you about your weekend, your day, how's school going, and that means a lot, especially for a Monday, you know? It makes Monday a little less, you dread it a little bit less almost, and it gives you a reason to see your friends.
Well, I started coming to Young Life. I started at Wildlife, back in the 8th grade, because my sister had always done that, and she loved it, and I always thought it was really cool that she got to go out on Wednesdays every night and stay out late, so I thought that was really awesome. So I started out with Wildlife and made a good, solid group of friends there.
Young Life Club for me is just every Monday night being able to come to see like my friends, even if they're older than me or younger than me, being friends with all the leaders and just hanging out with everybody.
All right, so for me, Young Life Club was really just a safe place for everyone, because you know, when you're in high school, everyone's really judgy and everything, but when you go to Young Life, it's just like this place where you can dress up and be whoever you want to be, and just everyone is there not to judge, everyone's there for the same thing, to get closer to God.
I believe that high schoolers desperately want to know that they are loved, that they're accepted, and that they are wanted. That's who I was in high school, and I had a Young Life leader who came into my life and loved me right where I was, right in the middle of all of my high school mess. And through the way that she loved me, I came to know that the Lord also loves me.
Well, my Young Life leader is Jamie Michelle, and she's been with me from the start. I remember I met her at my first Young Life Club when I was a freshman, and Young Life leaders are kind of like an older sister or brother or best friend, but they've already gone through exactly what you're going through.
I chose to be a Young Life leader. One of the biggest reasons being I had somebody in my life as a high school student who entered into it exactly where I was, and just taught me what it was like to be loved by Jesus, to be loved by them, and just taught me what it looked like to grow even as a high school student, in the hard, in the bad, and the good.
My Young Life leader, Callie, she's so awesome. I love hanging out with her. We usually grab coffee or dinner and just talk about what's going on, and I love seeing her every Monday night, and we just get along so well.
So I'm a Young Life leader for a lot of reasons, but I guess the first one that comes to mind is I don't think that there's a more fun way to live out the Great Commission and to make disciples. Like Young Life just creates this environment that's just a ton of fun, but also, you know, integrates truth into that. There's a few things I hope. One that out of the relationship that we had, I hope that they got just a glimpse of the acceptance and love that God has for them. And I hope also that they got a sense of like the fun that life can be with God.
My biggest hope for what my Young Life girls will know is just the true depths of love that the Lord has for them. That's my biggest prayer throughout the year.
Being a part of Young Life has made me realize that God is someone I can rely on, and that He's just someone, He's always there for me, and I can pray to Him no matter what, and no matter what I'm going through, He's always there for me.
I hope that my high school friends come to know that they are loved and that they are wanted by the God of the universe just as they are. I hope they come to know one day that they don't have to do anything to earn the Lord's love.
The biggest thing I've learned about God through Young Life, I learned at Crooked Creek Ranch after my sophomore year in high school. And this is something that Jamie opened my eyes to. And it probably seems really simple. It's a simple statement, but it wasn't something I was able to grasp until this moment, and I'll remember it forever. Jamie looked at me and she told me, "Celia, there's nothing you can do that would make God love you any more or any less." I think with a human mind, we all think we have to do things to earn people's love or make people love us more. And that kind of translated for me over into my relationship with God. And I thought I had to do things for God or do things to make him love me more. And in reality, there's nothing that you can do that would change his love for you. And that was my biggest takeaway, and it has forever changed my relationship with him.
There's a place at the banquet table for every kid. So like the king's servants in Jesus' story, we go and build friendships that earn us the right to invite them in. And until all have been invited and the banquet hall is filled, we will continue to go because it's worth it. They will always be worth it, and we wouldn't have it any other way.